Hello everyone, welcome to the fireside chat on 5G for businesses. I'm Mansi Thaneja from ET Telecom. Let me set the context quickly. India is on the cusp of launching 5G services. 5G promises up to 10 times higher speed than existing 4G, but it is not only about speed. 5G services will act as a catalyst for enterprise transformation. It will help them move towards Industry 4.0 and bring in new innovation possibilities which go beyond today's enterprise limitations, enabling new ways to work, think, and solve traditional business challenges. The session will discuss various facets around 5G related to enterprises, use cases globally and in India. Without much ado, let me now introduce you to our eminent speakers. We have with us Mr. Pratik Pashine, President Enterprise Business, Reliance Jio, and Mr. Magnus Ewerbring, CTO, Ericsson APAC. Let me start with Mr. Pratik. With the onset of the new digital era with 5G, enterprises need to reinvent themselves. 5G will enable enterprises to leap into new segments with the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality. How do you see 5G shaping up businesses in India?
Thanks, Mansi. Thanks for this question and good afternoon, Magnus. Good to see you here on this session. It's an exciting time for enterprises. And Mansi, what you said, 5G actually becomes yet another and a very powerful one in terms of being an enabler for the digital transformation journey of enterprises. Over the last few years, we've been seeing rapid strides, further aided by the COVID pandemic. And that has clearly, the 5G provides wings to that digital transformation journey. However, for enterprises to truly realize the value of 5G, you have no option but to adopt the true 5G experience, which means it's a standalone mode of deployment of 5G. But that truly then enables multiple use cases and the true benefits of 5G to accrue. And you rightly said, it's beyond just speed. It's about ability to handle low latency traffic. It's about ability to handle massive IoT and sensors. It's about ability to slice a network and create a private network for enterprises. All of that comes alive when you adopt the true 5G mode of deployment, which is the standalone mode. And that's what Jio has done. So I think it's a great time and an era for Indian enterprises. It helps provide a further fillip to their digital transformation journey. And the true 5G will enable multiple use cases and business problems that the companies are trying to solve for through 5G experience.
Okay, let me move on to Mr. Magnus. So, India is a very unique market. So, considering the various aspects of the Indian market, how do you see 5G leading to enterprise transformation across various segments and various industry verticals?
So thank you. First and foremost, thank you very much for having me here. So it's exciting times, right? 5G is now active in, I think, 218 networks in the world. We serve 130 of them so far. And even more exciting is, of course, that now we will come live here in India. And I think there's so much potential. And there's also so much desire to start to use it. In a recent survey, Ericsson, together with the media, asked different enterprises, and 52% of the enterprises being probed said that within 12 months they will adopt 5G in some form or shape into their operations. A further 31% said they would do so by 2024. So I believe there is a great pent-up demand here for enterprises to step-by-step onboard the 5G services. We've seen with our activities in markets where we had 5G for a little bit of time, a great interest. We should keep in mind that it's a long journey, right? When you digitalize your enterprise, you start with some use cases, you onboard more and more. Very much so in the beginning, it's about providing communication for your employees to make sure that the tools they're using are connected, and step by step onboarding more and more of the machinery etc., that you may have on your site. But I think overall, it's also so that it a lot of value comes out of this with the possibility to be data driven, to have more information at hand when you take decisions. And this is indeed a true value of the 5G services.
Great, interesting. Moving on to Mr. Pratik, what do you think will be the top use cases in India where enterprise play can perfectly fit in? What's the potential 5G holds for large enterprises as well as the small ones?
I think there will be no industry that would not be able to reap benefits, but clearly mining, ports, utilities,
Mhm.
heavy machinery industry, manufacturing, transportation, logistics clearly will see huge opportunity to improve their operational processes, to reduce wastage, pilferage, to reduce carbon footprint. I mean,
Mhm.
multiple initiatives which have both clearly economic benefits and societal benefits would accrue to multiple industries with 5G. For the SMB as well, I think the combination of cloud and 5G will enable the SMBs to truly go capex light, truly benefit from the low latency applications, the high speed applications, combined with the cloud infrastructure. And see, while the large enterprises, one will have to co-create these use cases, solutions, and solve for. For the small medium business, they want it in a bite-sized chunk. They want it as a finished product which they can
Mhm.
readily consume. And a
Right.
combination of 5G along with cloud, which as GOB provide both these services, will uniquely help them in kind of reducing their capital expenditure and truly leveraging the digital technologies, the combination of cloud, connectivity, 5G applications that would come about. So I think SMBs stand to gain significantly. Also, the other thing that one needs to notice that large enterprises are typically concentrated in CBDs, downtowns, business clusters, whereas SMB is in every nook and corner of the uh, country. And a true 5G will give them all the services and benefits that would otherwise accrue only on fiber. So that would further fill their ability to adopt technology. Today, they are limited by good connectivity, and that would be available now ubiquitously with true 5G from Jio. So I think combination of ubiquitous 5G, cloud infrastructure, software as a service offerings, all packaged nicely in a ready to consume kind of a package will help SMBs in their digital growth.
So could you elaborate some of the trials that you're already undertaking for enterprise use cases?
This is, as Magnus also said, this is a long journey.
Mm-hmm.
We're currently having conversations. Spectrum has just been issued a couple of weeks back, but
Right.
the Indian customers across industries are very enthused, excited by what the potential of 5G and 2 5G offers. So we've had conversations. We are doing various tests in our own labs, and we've created roughly 25 plus use cases, which is applicable to multiple industries, be it in the IoT domain or metaverse domain or high-speed enhanced mobile broadband domain. We've kind of
Mm-hmm.
done those test cases ourselves, but as we speak, we are in multiple customer conversations to truly evolve what 5G means for those specific customers. And as I said, it's a co-innovation journey. We have a very rich and diverse set of partners, be it hyperscalers, be it network providers, be it application providers. Uh, because this sauce is going to be built with partnerships, and that's what we've brought to bear for our end customer. That they don't need to look beyond one person to stitch this solution. We bring together the entire ecosystem to solve the business problem for our customer.
So, continuing with the same question, Mr. Magnus, on 5G use cases for enterprises, What, according to you, would be the top use cases that we'll see in India, maybe in the short term and in the long term? That we did mention about couple of industry, but if you could also elaborate on that.
I think we've seen very broad range of industries. We have surveyed a little bit the potential, and I think India has enormous potential. Together with Arthur D. Little, we assessed that in 2030, looking at 10 different segments, there would be a revenue potential of 17 billion US dollars for the mobile operators alone. And on top of that, of course, the enterprises and the ICT companies providing solutions. So it's a great potential, right? That was just 10 segments, including manufacturing, agriculture, healthcare, e-commerce, and so forth. So I think, but in all of these segments, again, becoming more connected is a true thing, right? One example from one site where we engaged, we helped them to provide sensors measuring air quality. And the thing is, and the sensor itself is straightforward, right? But in the olden days, you would connect it with a wire. That means you manually have to put out the wire there. If you reconfigure your site, you have to rewire, etc. It's very costly, and wires tend to break. If instead you have this through a 5G connection, it's much more straightforward, easier to deploy it, more robust, more safe and secure. So it becomes easier for the owner to put out more sensors. Having more sensors means the employees knows that the environment is safe and sound. That means less disruption to manufacturing flow, and it means higher output at a better quality. So you improve safety, you improve quality by having more data at hand and assuring that your process is up to the mark where it should be. So it's just one example. Again, coming into these manufacturing sites and enterprises sites, one-on-one onboarding them to wireless connection, aggregating data, taking more clever decisions. It's a great innovation platform, really, the 5G system, and it will drive innovation. And I think India has so much potential here with small, medium, large enterprises, lots of innovation power to be unleashed now.
And just to add to what Magnus said,
Sure.
Not just the private enterprises, but also government and ministries stand to benefit hugely with the advent of.
Indeed so, and I think it's a very good point you have there, that the entities, I should say, both public and private, that rely on this communication also rely on it to have secure communication, have integrity with the data so that it can be trusted. And today, this is the best we have in the industry.
And just to
Right.
add, Mansi,
Yeah.
yet another benefit of 5G is truly being able to enhance, upgrade skills. Now, what typically happens is that the person who needs to acquire skills is probably present in remote locations, whereas the expert is in the big city. How do you get these skills developed through a trainer, through an expert? If physically it's not possible to be in the same place, and I think through immersive technologies such as AR, VR, which become available with 5G, no person, no youth in this country is left because of distance. His ability to upgrade himself, his ability to acquire new skills, because it will provide an immersive experience. And I think that's Prime Minister Shri Modi has been talking about how do we increase the skills of this country, how do you get youth more employable. Clearly, 5G answers that big societal need as well of not just educating the youth, but also making them employable. And 5G, through immersive technology, provides you that option that geography truly becomes history now if you want to get your skills upgraded.
Definitely. India needs that skilling part. Okay, so let's move on. Pratik, I just want to touch upon the private network opportunity for telcos. As a leading player, what are your plans to tap this segment? There have been many controversy also around this, but if I can have your comments on this.
It's not as much about private or public, and we are able to create through standalone mode of 5G, private networks, slice networks, which is uniquely possible with only standalone mode. But I think we are at the end of the day solving a customer problem. We are fulfilling a customer need. If that need is of security, that need is of low latency, and we believe the platform that we offer to our customers, our ability to create private networks for them, our ability to slice the network for them in the geography that they're looking for, and ability to club that with public or private cloud, because these two things go hand in hand. You can't just do public or private
Mhm.
5G and not need the cloud infrastructure. So combination of this, I think, uniquely positions us to provide or solve for that customer problem. And that customer problem could be solved through private network slides, enterprise use cases. And I think we uniquely positioned to provide that. In fact, I would further go and say that, see, each of these private enterprises or companies who want to take their own spectrum, they're not wanting to be in the business of telecom. They're wanting to
Mhm.
solve actually a business problem. Somebody's trying to improve manufacturing efficiency. Somebody's trying to make sure that the supply chain is improved. And we would want them to do just that. I think uh, they enterprises want efficiency of their operations, and I think we uniquely positioned to solve that problem for them. It doesn't have to be by way of they taking spectrum. We could provide and we would provide managed network as a service, so that their business problem is solved without they worrying about how to run a telecom network now. How do you
Mhm.
run a wireless network? How do you manage the servers? How do you manage the traffic? So that's what we are taking to our customers, that you have a business problem to solve, we will partner in doing that. Because no company today, everybody wants to stick to the core, their core business. They want a few strategic partners who will solve certain business problems for them while they keep the core business intact. And I think that's what we are offering to our customers, saying we'll solve the business problem for you. You don't have to get your hands dirty in now running a telecom network.
I just want to briefly touch upon the point which you had mentioned earlier. You think the standalone mode which Reliance Jio is taking is more suitable for 5G for enterprises? Is
So,
that your view compared to the other one?
so truly, right? I think the standalone is the final destination to truly reap the benefits of low latency, network slicing, massive machine to machine communication, and enhanced broadband. That is the true benefits of 5G, right? And you do not want to have a good external body of a vehicle, but the engine is old, right? For the machinery to perform at its most optimum, you want the entire fabric, the external as well as the internal fabric, to be upgraded, and that's what standalone mode is. And I think for us, it's very clear that standalone is the final destination. So to truly reap the benefits of true 5G, and that's what one has chosen. I'll be very surprised if you see only non-standalone networks exist forever. They would at one time or the other move to standalone. And for the customers, clearly, if you want a jump ship benefit from 4G networks to 5G and the unique proposition of 5G, that only gets enabled through the SMO.
Okay, Mr. Magnus, Ericsson being a global player, you are present across the globe. So I just want to talk about what are your learnings, insights from the other markets where 5G has already been launched. Can you share some of the learnings from there? And also, global operators are earning some revenue? Has that stream started for the enterprise segment? Or that's a long road.
Yeah. So it is a long road in sense. We are at the early stages, right? And again, I think this is so good now with India really coming into 5G because it's at the right moment. The enterprise learnings are largely to be done. But what we see then is, I think, a very nice evolution from where we've been in the mobile industry. From our company point of view, we started quite early to put it into our own factories. We started first with the most advanced 4G we had. As soon as we could upgrade it, we did so. And it was quite interesting. Our research team was there putting in small solutions that could be run on the 5G system and trying it out. As soon as the production people saw it and understood the value of it, it remained there, right? They were not allowed to remove it. And I think this a little bit shows the value of it that it has there. We use 5G now in all our factories, in fact. There's no way going back once you're in there. Another example, we serve a number of ports, and here you have a complex environment. You have lots of things to keep in track of, right? Obviously, the containers, but also a lot of equipment moving around and human beings there. So you need to position people, things on the ground, make sure that you can optimize the routes and not have any incidents. By just knowing where these automatically guided vehicles are that drive the containers between different positions in the harbor, and knowing where they should go, we could optimize the route and significantly improve the time they could be used. So there is a simple efficiency optimization that can be done. And of course, we select the routes based on any other movement so that safety is improved. And the same learning was there. The harbor or the port started with some trials. Very soon they say this stays here. And then it was a longer journey on step-by-step onboard more and more use cases. So I think it's really powerful, so to say. It's powerful for private enterprises, for public sectors. But I think one learning is really that the important thing is to make sure that you do something good on top of the network. And here's where many applications come in. And they need to be developed. They need to be tailored to some industries for their needs. So people need to be locally there. And that work is still to be done. And here, I think, can just say, please, India, contribute to the innovation in the world. I think you have all the possibilities to be a strong contributor here. How to use the 5G connectivity that the systems provide.
Great, great. Very insightful. So we are just coming to the close of the session. If you both have any closing remarks to share, last comments.
Actually, I think we're at the cusp of the next set of industrial revolution happening, enabled by through 5G. And I think combination of 5G, cloud will truly unleash the power of digital technology, which companies will adopt to improve their customer experience, to improve their operational efficiency, to improve their sheer size of the business. And it's not going to be left for few industries and few niche use cases. I think we're going to see an all-pervasive application of 5G across the large, mid, and small businesses, and across public and private. And India will yet again break benchmarks, typical examples that one has seen globally. We are a country which makes hugely profitable business at a $2 ARPU. So I'm very confident that 5G will, in India, and what we're doing through 5G will break yet again various milestones that have been set by various companies and operators worldwide. So I think the time is interesting for Indian citizens. They will reap the benefits of to 5G very soon.
Right. Mr. Magnus, any last comments you have?
Well, again, I think I'm so happy that now the spectrum allocations are done. I know rollout is ongoing in India, and I truly look forward to see 5G in the field in India for enterprises and for consumers. When we look at 5 years down the line in 2027, we believe there will be 500 million 5G subscriptions in India alone. It will be a fantastic movement in the mobile world. Average usage at 50 gigabyte per month, that's 25% more than the world average. India will very much drive innovation on 5G, I'm sure.
With this, we have come to the end of the insightful discussion. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mansi.
Thank you.